Flight Boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon, Flight Boss, the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now I want to talk about moon aspects. Now this is very important because with moon aspects, this is correlated to adjusting yourself in the world that you are in. Because the moon is more correlated to you. Because when you look at the moon is attached to, listen, in this realm that we are in right now, you're constantly receiving. From the day that you are born, you are receiving. So everything that you give off from what you received is basically what you give back. So for the most part, oh shit. Yeah, so for the most part, you're constantly receiving. So that lets you know in the realm of reality and in the world that we are in, right, in this location, I'm not saying all the other locations and shit, and astral and universes and shit, in this one that we in, this one is correlated with receiving. So receiving is correlated to the feminine energy. Not talking about male and female as in y'all talk about as gender, but I'm talking about the actual frequency, energetic force. And if you want to look at it from that realm, when we talk about the feminine energy, that's way more masculine than you motherfuckers in this realm, but that's another video. But when we talk about the receiving energy, that's more correlated to the feminine energy. So that's letting you know that the feminine energy is more dominant here in the realm that we are in right now. So you have to come to your senses to let you know the first being in this space was a female. You see what I'm saying? Was a female. So if you are a woman and a female in the gender fashion, you carry certain attributes and traits of the being that was here first. Now the being that was here first, I don't want to say was a male and female gender wise, but it was a feminine being. So in that world, you got male and female type beings. But that is just, that's what kind of being it was. So in the lesser life and in our form of reality, I don't agree on terms and conditions, but just being humans. In this realm of reality down here, if you agree to the terms and conditions to being a human, if you are female gender, then you automatically got certain frequency vibrations and traits, and you got pieces and that shit a part of you from that world, that feminine energy. So you women as the gender carry a powerful energy from a being that was here first. And then when you look at things like Uranus and Saturn, Saturn is the earth element, and the earth element is from the feminine energy, is from the feminine energy world. There's a lot of different worlds out here. You see what I'm saying? The earth element is from the feminine world. You know what I'm saying? So structure, pattern, scheduling, detail, task, and things of that nature, that's the feminine world. All that is feminine traits. This is why women, gender-wise, are in search for a person, whether they're a male or a female, that have some type of form of structure to them, or some form of pattern, or whatever like that. Because that's the realm that the feminine energy deals with. So this is why a lot of times you got women in the gender form more stable than men. Yeah, nigga, this is why you live with your girl. Yeah, this is why. This is why she can keep a job longer than your ass, right? Because that's feminine energy. What is a job? Pattern, structure, routine, right? Your ass can't do that all the time. Your ass want to cry about having a job. Your ass want to go out and drug deal and take your girl's income tax check, right? And tell her like, look, we gonna I'm gonna do this. You just keep working, and I'm gonna make sure I flip this. You don't flip shit. At maximum, you just get her money back. And give her money back. Like, look, babe, see, we flipping. Nigga, you have fucking 50 cents over. She let your ass borrow $1,200. You gave her $1,250. Tell her that your ass was $1,250 and some pizza for the week. And a few Whoppers. 2 Whoppers for $6. And your ass felt like y'all hustling. Get your motherfucking monkey ass the fuck out of here. But yeah. That's what I mean. But for the most part, when we're talking about the moon is attached to this energy. The moon come from that realm also. So the moon is like a satellite. It was how your soul traveled and felt about the location that it was in before it seen the light. It seen the vibration force of it. It seen the transparency. It seen the shapeless, formless first. And that's like the satellite, the macabre, like the moon. So the moon gives you access to be able to have the ability to react and respond. So that's dealing with your soul, who you are, your individual spirit. Because as your spirit travel already with some information based upon your spirit group, you being an individual, you're going to have your own perception of this travel. So that's you becoming you. You having your own understanding amongst what we in. So that's you becoming a soul, and that's all the spirit is. An individual soul. I mean, that's all a soul is, an individual spirit. And that's you. And the moon in this realm of reality gives you access to be able to react and respond from that world. The world of the astral plane. The world where your soul spirit stay at. The frequency vibration world. The astral, the yin realm. So you have to utilize the moon in the physical realm in order to tap in that, so you can know how to react and respond to the things that you are in, aka you are in your mind, you are in your brain, you are in your body, you are in this world, you are in situations, you are in circumstances, you are in rotation, and you are relative to the 360 that you are in. So the ability that your soul have to react and respond, you have to utilize the moon. This is why in this realm of reality, it's important to know your motherfucking moon sign, because your moon sign is going to tell you what world you in when you're not in the physical world that you see in the yang. You see what I'm saying? So if your moon sign is in motherfucking Capricorn, and that lets you know that you your soul, the world that you are in is in a world that things go on in that way. And that's how life is in that world. So if you're not into astrology and you don't know your moon sign, then a lot of times your emotions and feelings going to be chaotic, because it's going to be controlled by other people's chaotic and them not knowing themselves. And then if you come across a person who do know themselves, then this person will be able to control you. And then you got high and low levels of that. You got people, 98% of the world don't know themselves. So you got a person who got certain planetary alignments, or people who just got the juice. So they don't even know themselves, but they got the ability to control you. So it's like, damn, what the fuck? Blind leading the blind. So this is why we need to understand our astrology. This is why we need to understand flight astrology, and we can start to get into this shit and start to decipher. Now, the moon. So the moon is like a satellite. It's a Merkaba. It gives you access and the ability to respond to where this Merkaba at. And since this moon is in this reality, then you're able to utilize your soul and utilize the moon sign, the moon, to be able to react and respond to this location that the moon is in at the moment. And the moon is relative to this sun, this Venus, Mars, Jupiter, whatever like that. And their relationship is creating our reality as the lesser life. Damn. But yeah, you know, for the most part, we in a circumstance and situation where motherfucking sorry about that, but yeah, we in a circumstance where we're receiving and we getting the benefits from, well, I don't want to say benefits, but as far as the moon, right, that's our satellite and our ability to be able to receive what's going on in this realm of reality, which is the lights, the influences. God damn, yo. So, you know, at the same time, that's what's going on with us. So, you know, this is why it's important to know your motherfucking moon. Now, when we talk about the motherfucking aspects, the aspects is how your moon is constructed, how your moon is correlated, how your moon aspect, how your moon functions, and how it responds to this reality that we are in. So let's start off with like the sun. All right, now the moon. Let's say the moon conjuncts your sun. So who you are, your emotional reactions in response to the world that you are in. I know I got off track a little bit. Sorry about that, y'all. By the phone. But, you know, who you are, your emotional reactions in response to the world that you are in is easily seen. You like to act on these things, take action on them. A lot of times you can't see the difference. You can't, because the feelings and emotions is the shapeless and formless realm. So you can't see that realm, right? But for the most part, to express something or say something or create something, that's bringing that realm to be seen. You know what I'm saying? So a person who got the moon conjunct the sun, this is what they like to do, and sometimes they don't know how to separate between the two. Sometimes they don't know that you're supposed to keep certain stuff in and not let certain stuff be shown. So they may rub people off the wrong way a lot of times, or they may be over charming, but for the or have a super ego. But for the most part, with the moon conjuncting the sun, you know, your emotions and feelings is going to be seen in some way, shape, or form, and you do it subconsciously. You express yourself and things of that nature, and it can be to a positive degree or a detriment. Now, when we talk about the moon, moon opposite the sun, now your emotional reactions and your response to the world that you are in and who you are is at odds with your own and other people's actions and the way they act and how they see things and what they're consciously aware of. So a lot of times, how you see things, you don't agree with it emotionally. And a lot of times the way you feel, you may doubt yourself a lot of times. You may feel the need not to express yourself to the fullest, or feel the need to not be seen. So you can play out secretive moments at times also. But after a while, you start creating and manifesting so many circumstances and situations in your life that you start developing balance in your life, and you start to know. The older you get, you start to learn how to balance. You start to know when to use this and when not to use that, when to do this and when not to do that, when to use your moon or when to use your sun. So it becomes a balance after a while. But for the most part, that's how that works. Now, moon square the sun. Now, if the moon square the sun, this becomes a learning process. So, for the most part, who you are, your emotional reactions to the world that you are in, and how you respond to things, the moon now squaring the sun, you need to learn from your own or other people's actions. So you might be the person who act too fast, say things too fast, and put yourself in circumstances and situations where you be like, damn, I shouldn't have did that. Next time I know better. Or or you may need to be the type of person who need to learn from other people's actions and how they see things and how they view things before being fully comfortable with what you're going to do with your actions. So that's how the square comes here. So you find yourself doing things that's not you a lot of times, and you might think it's you. You might find yourself being unsure of yourself a lot of times, and then you might find yourself being stubborn. So you just have to learn from other people's actions, or you're going to be forced to learn from your own actions because you did something too fast without fully thinking about it. And then we got the I said conjunction, and then we got the moon trine the sun. Now, this is what I got. Now, your emotional reactions, response into the world that you are in and who you are, right? Now, the trine is a gift. So, this is one thing you have to understand about gifts. Gifts will force you to procrastinate a lot of times. Because a gift is like something you already have. Like a video game you already beat 100 times, but it's a good game. So, something you may have. Or, you know, anything that becomes something that you can start taking for granted because you already know you got access to always do it. You know what I'm saying? You may be a person who got a lot of pull in your life. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that means. So for the most part, when we talk about the moon trining, it's going to give you a lot of gifts. So how you react and respond to the world and how you see things, how you react and respond and who you are is going to have the gift of being seen by others, being known, being consciously aware of, and you got the gift on acting on these things in a favorable way. So people kind of got a good sense of who you are based upon how you act, utilizing your sun and how you see things. You know what I'm saying? So it gives a gift, but with these gifts and with these qualities, you could procrastinate and become frustrated a lot of times when things don't go your way, and find yourself in that kind of vocation. Now, the in conjunction is a misunderstanding. So I like to look at everything as misconjunctions. Even the semi-sextiles, they're just minor inconjunctions, more minor inconjunctions, minor misunderstandings. So with the moon in conjuncting the sun, this just means that sometimes it's it depends on which side of the in conjunction it is, because sometimes you could be on the in conjunction side those signs share the same planet though, same shared planet ruler. So an in conjunction would be a misunderstanding. So for an example, Sun in conjunct the Moon. Who you are and your emotional reactions and response to the world you in is misunderstood by other people's actions and how they see things. And a lot of times you misunderstand other people's actions and how other people feel. So a lot of times you have to forcefully assert yourself in both areas. Sometimes you have to forcefully assert your the way you feel in a scenario in order for people to actually see it. Because they don't see it, they don't see where you're coming from until you forcefully assert it, and then vice versa. Sometimes you have to forcefully assert your actions and how you act, or how you view something, or how you see something in a scenario in order for someone to actually feel it. Because on a daily basis, your actions is not being felt or not being seen. So sometimes you may have to forcefully assert it, and that what makes it understood. So people, that's how you look at in conjunctions. But as I was saying, sometimes you could be on the in conjunction side that share the same planet ruler. For an example, if your sun sign is in Scorpio, but your moon is in Aries, that's an in conjunction. But this in conjunction share the same planets, planet trait. So you won't your forceful nature. Like how I just explained, sometimes you have to forcefully assert yourself in the energy. The way you do it will come across in a harmonious way. So even if it is Mars, intent, passion, or a little aggressiveness, it will be received well. Now if you was a Sun Scorpio, but your moon is on it's Gemini, then it's still in conjunction, but it don't share the planets. So when you assert your energy, like how I just explained, it might come off in a negative way. You know what I'm saying? To the point that people think you're thinking too hard, thinking too deep about shit, and things of that nature. Come on. So pay close attention to that also, because it's the same way for if you are a Libra sun. Let's go to the next sign over. If you're a Libra sun and your moon is in if your moon is in fucking Pisces, and Libra, see, it's a bunch of meanings and reasonings behind why Libra is dealing with so much love. Because even their angles, even their in conjunction, share off a lot of love and shed off a lot of worry and stress, and have a lot of love and appreciation of value and relativeness. Because say if you are a Libra sun, but your moon is in Taurus, it's an in conjunction, but they share Venus. But then let's say the other in conjunction. Let's say it share your moon will, if you're a Sun Libra, but your moon is in Pisces. Venus is exalted in Pisces. You see what I'm saying? So you'll overexhaust yourself into your relationships and go to extremes. But at the same time, you know, you just got it. That's why every sign is different. Every sign is different. You know what I'm saying? Cause then on the flip side of things, you know, if you a Sun sign Taurus, but your moon is in Scorpio, but your moon is in Libra, that share Venus, right? But then on the flip side of Scorpio, you got motherfucking Sagittarius. So that whatever you assert yourself for the misunderstanding, for the in conjunction, will play out in a negative way. So long as that you know like, all right, if I do this, I know that'll be negative, so let me orchestrate it in this way. Boom! Now you know yourself. This is all the key to astrology. But all right, let's do another one. Let's do Moon. Okay, Moon Venus. Now, all right, the Moon conjuncting Venus. Now, you feel more comfortable with being around harmonious and fair type situations and dealing with love, appreciation, value, relatedness, and compromising. But you may be so comfortable with this that you get very chaotic and scared and scattered minded anytime you get around any aggressive type energy or opposing type energy. And then you can be utilized as a crutch also. Try not to put all your feelings and emotions into trying to be favorable and things of that nature, because people start taking your love for granted. All right, then I got the next placement. Moon opposed Venus. How you react and respond to the world that you in and who you are is at odds with the way how other people love, appreciate, and express how they love, appreciate, value, and how they relate to others and the things that they're willing to compromise with. Now, what does this mean? You don't even feel comfortable with love, or you don't feel comfortable with appreciation or getting appreciated, or you don't feel comfortable with relating. A lot of times you feel like you're unrelatable, and with the moon you manifest these circumstances in your life, believe it or not. So it's kind of hard right here to get over a lot of times, because you just subconsciously feel like this. So you subconsciously manifest not being favored or being unrelatable. You know, who you is and your emotional reactions and the response to the world that you are in. Also, you don't react, you react opposite to love. So you react oppositely to the way how you're supposed to relate. So when you're around others who get a lot of love and receive love, you don't know how to relate to that. You don't know how, you know what I'm saying? You got to make up excuses why it's like that and shit like that. So, you know, sometimes you may have to set aside how you feel about things and how you react and who you are for the sake of how other people express how they relate. You might be around people and be like, damn, this person phony as hell, these people fake. But some shit is not fake, and this is what Geminis understand. Some shit is needed because that's what's needed to have a relationship or to relate to people. But with the moon opposite in Venus, you could be so removed from that everything seems fake. Just because a person going through something, or just because a person calling their friend, you will find some way to look at that like it's fake. Oh, this is why I can't really have friends like that, because they fake as fuck, because this person always calling them. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that some things is needed. And this is what I deal with in my life also. I had to know that. That's why I'm glad I know about astrology. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, for all my moon sign opposite Venus out there, you know, be aware. Start to understand that certain shit that we see out here, how people manifesting shit, and we not applying ourselves with that shit because we know it feels sticky getting into that area. We need to start understanding that some of that shit is needed for that in general. So we got a fucked up mind. Moon square Venus. Who you are, your emotional reactions and response to the world that you are in. You need to start to learn from how others love, appreciate, and value, and the things that they relate to, and the things that they're willing to compromise with, and even learn from other people's bad habits, because that's Venus also. And see what they need to do in moderation. You need to learn how to apply that to how you feel. So for an example, you might got your own feelings in your relationship. You might want to be loved this way, in a certain way. But if your moon square your Venus, you need to learn how to get comfortable with compromising. Learn how to relate to how other people express their love, even if they do certain things that you don't like. Learn how to compromise with these things, because the moment you don't, you're just going to be stressing yourself out, especially if you're in a relationship that you are attached to. Why put yourself in that kind of hell and create circumstances and situations where you might have to break up and things wasn't even that deep to begin with? But it can become that deep if you're not learning, and if you are in a situation, you may have your moon squaring Venus, or your moon squaring your Venus, and a lot of times your partner moon may be squaring your Venus. So it's good to know that also, because therefore you will know specifically where the problem coming from and know how to rectify it. And then let's say the moon sextile, and I'm gonna do the sextile for the last one too because I didn't do it. But the moon sextile Venus. The sextile create opportunities. So, you know, opportunities could be good ones or bad ones, but it's gonna create that orb. So for the most part, you know, with the moon sextile and Venus, who you are, your emotional reactions and response to the world is always going to experience opportunities to be able to express how you feel within your love matters or your relationships, any kind of relationship, business, partner, co-worker, family member, or your relationship in general. There's always going to be opportunities created for that you have to express the way you feel about something, or have to react to something and respond to something that's dealing with your love, appreciation, value, relativeness, or the things that you're compromising with. And that can be people, places, and things, or even things that you may overindulge in and need to learn how to do things in moderation in. You may create bad habits. That's Venus also. So, you know, with the sextile is going to create opportunities for you to react and respond to that realm of reality on a constant level every day. So when transits come, everybody deal with that. But when you have this all year round, you're constantly having to react and respond to the people, places, and things that's dealing with Venus. Love, appreciation, value, relativeness, and compromising with. Now, the moon sextile and the sun, you're always going to experience opportunities for your emotional reactions and how you respond to things to be seen. So if you are a person who got the moon sextile the sun, you may be seen as an emotional person. Even if you got let's say a sun fire and a moon air, or vice versa, moon fire, sun air, or earth sun water air, or water sun earth air. I mean, what the fuck am I saying? Or water sun earth moon. You know what I'm saying? My bad. What the fuck am I talking about? Or if you got fire moon, fire moon, air sun, or fire sun and air moon, or a water sun and earth moon, or earth sun and water moon. Whatever sextile combination it is gonna create opportunities between the two, and these opportunities could be good or bad, but it doesn't. But for the most part, reason why I was saying you're gonna be seen as emotional, no matter if you're a sun air and fire moon, or fire sun and air moon, you're still going to be seen as emotional because your sun sextile the moon. And what happens here is situations always going to be created that create opportunities that your emotions and feelings have to be seen or have to be shown. So even if you're not an emotional person at all, like I said, your moon is in air and you got a sun fire, the opportunity is going to be created that show your feelings in some way, shape, or form. You're not going to be able to help it. So it's just better to understand this and rectify it. So to know that, okay, I got sun sextile the moon. So opportunities, people, places, and things are always going to be coming to my life that create shit that my feelings got to be seen in some type of way. And if I don't express it, people are going to look over me. And then even vice versa. The way you see things, your actions, and what you're consciously aware of, you always want to act. You always want to experience opportunities where you have to act on how someone else feels, act on how someone else is responding, or act on how you genuinely feel. You know what I'm saying? So opportunities going to be created where you have to always act on how you feel sometimes. Now, moon, I said sextile, opposed, conjunct, trine. Now, moon trine Venus. Now, with the moon trine of Venus, who you are, your emotional reactions in response to the world that you are in, you need to learn how to, not learn, but you have the gift. Like I said, it's a gift. It's a gift. You got the gift of being able to react and respond to love, appreciation, and value, and relativeness, and compromising in a favorable way. You even got the gift of knowing not to dive too far into bad habits. A lot of times you may procrastinate and get lazy and go too far, but you got this sense of concept. And you can't go too far because you always going to experience the bad circumstance before anybody else, especially if you got the moon trying to Venus. The moment you start going too far into your pleasures and indulging, something going to happen way faster than someone else who go just as far as you, just because you got that alignment, because you know better. So you knowing better, that's always in the back of your mind because you got that alignment. So it's always in the back of your mind when you indulge in too far. So you automatically create and manifest getting caught. So so try not to dive too far into your pleasures of having sex, or too far into your drug habits, or workout habit, whatever kind of habit you got. If you got the moon trine Venus, then you're gonna put yourself in a circumstance where the moment you go too far, you're gonna get attacked, and you're gonna be right next to a person who could go that far and further than you, and nothing happens to them. Something will happen to them, just not as fast as you, cause your ass know better. But yeah, man, let me start this video before my camera try to chop this up into two footages, two separate videos. Flight Boss, bitch, goddamn air.